Darrelle Revis was a gnat.
One of, if not the best cornerback to play the game, right there with prime time.
And what he was able to do in terms of his skill set, I mean, he was unbelievably patient at the line of scrimmage.
They said that side of the field was closed, that the most dangerous place in football wasn't the line of scrimmage, it was wherever he was standing. The greatest quarterbacks in the game changed their entire approach before the snap. Hall of Fame receivers had to work harder, think faster, just to survive. Offenses didn't game plan against him, they ran from him. In a league built on matchups and advantages, he erased them all. One corner, one island, one standard that an entire generation of football measured itself against. His name was Darrelle Revis, and on his side of the field, nobody ate.
Was there a DB throughout your entire career that you kind of like give the tip of the cap to, that he always made your job just that much harder?
Yeah, and I'm not ashamed to say his name. Darrelle Revis was a gnat. Yeah. The he was just a gnat. I mean, and the thing about it, what was you going to ask me, Jason? What made him good?
Yeah, because it wasn't like he was like this crazy, like fat. Like, I mean, he was, but what made him so good at corner?
I mean, without stating the obvious, guys study, they study techniques, they study, formation, things like that. But by him being not as fast as, a Champ Bailey or Deion Sanders, the man was athletic beyond, when I say athletic, if you study a guy like Darrelle Revis, go back to his highlights back when he played basketball in the state of Pennsylvania. Okay.
Ooh,
okay.
Do some homework. Yeah.
Okay. So when I go back to do my studying, I already went back to his high school looking at his skill set, because I remember the release. I did a release his rookie year. And then the second year I came back, I tried to do the same release, and I'm like, oh my God, he got it. So it was kind of more like he did his homework on me. Now it's time for me to do mine, which I thought I did. But I had to really go into my study mode with a guy like him because he was so good. And I just think that the way he knew how you stepped, how he knew body language, along with having a great defensive coordinator and a guy like Rex Ryan, and then later on going to, Bill Belichick's defense. So like I said, Darrelle Revis was a gnat. He studied, but I think one of the things that he really didn't get credit for was how good of an athlete he was, just not as a cornerback, but the man was a hell of a guard too.
And what he was able to do in terms of his skill set, I mean, he was unbelievably patient at the line of scrimmage. You could do all the dancing you wanted, and he was right there.
I didn't like that. I did not like it.
But what was really unique is how patient he was.
Yes,
When the ball was in the air, he never panicked. He always could locate your hands, and if the ball was underthrown or overthrown, he could take the ball away from you. A willing participant in the run game, and he was a guy who was never flustered. I would see guys talking to him, saying things, trying to get him out of his game. You could never get him out of his game. He was always poised and just playing the way he wanted to play. And one thing that's really important here is he's the 10th University of Pittsburgh.
Oh, here we go.
Player. The 10th, yes.
Who was one player that you were like, damn, I gotta go against him tonight? Or who was like the one that you got like respect, like it's gonna be a battle?
Revis Island? Probably the one time I was ever stopped. Back to back. And he had, listen, his 2009 season should go down as history as the best season of all time for any DB, regardless of past DB's accolades. What he did that year to all the greats, the Calvin Johnsons, myself, the Steve Smiths, the Terrell Owens, he shut everybody down. Everybody down, and he's deserving of that Hall of Fame jacket, and he's one that I give the utmost respect to, even though I play around and make jokes all the time, but he is the real deal.
They tried to beat him. They couldn't. They tried to scheme around him. It didn't matter. At the end of the day, every route, every release, every double move met the same fate: shutdown.
What makes Revis the Island is he's the most patient corner out there. He believes in his ability to catch up and his footwork. And for a receiver, that's the most frustrating thing you can have. A guy that's patient, a guy that doesn't panic.
He was a shutdown corner. That's a very hard thing to do. You imagine you're running backwards and the guy's running forward, and he knows where he's going and you don't. he was just a guy who could keep up with anybody. But not only that, he was a big guy. He wasn't like a small, flighty guy. He was a big guy who was just physical when he needed to be, fast when he needed to be. He was just could do everything. I think that he definitely a worthy Hall of Famer, man. He had a hell of a career.
How unique was he in terms of the way the Jets used him, and he had his own island?
Yeah, I did Revis Island. I was in New York when he was out there shutting them down, but definitely unique because that's a lot of pressure. It's kind of like saying, we're going to put you over here on the best, and you always have to be your best every play. And that's hard to do over the course of a game or a season. And he did it year after year. So, if there's ever any cornerback out there right now who's a finalist in the Hall of Fame who should make the Hall of Fame, it's Darrelle.
Whenever you hear a nickname like Revis Island, first of all, you think, great nickname. I wish there was an island named after me. But then you have to think, Revis is still Revis Island. And I think he'll be Revis Island until the day he retires because the work ethic, he's from Pittsburgh. In college, he actually took a punt back to the house against me. And it was on that day that I wish he was on an island.
Am I excited to see Revis? I think I am because there was a lot of talk, last year. And I'm not taking anything from him. He did do some good things last year to be the shutdown corner that he is. But and I'm not scared to say this. I prided my offseason on Revis. So and like I say, I take pride in what I do. But what he did last year was something that even opened my eyes up as a wide receiver, that there's a cornerback out here, Moss, that I really have to be on my A game. So I prided my offseason on staying off of Revis Island.
There wasn't a receiver alive who wanted that matchup. They knew it. The coaches knew it. The whole league knew it. You could have all the speed in the world, and it still wasn't enough.
But Darrelle Revis, to me, I think what he allowed me to do as a coach, I put in that Revis Island. Well, Revis Island was real. And what I would do is say, you know what, Darrelle, I'm going to put you on their best player, and I'm going to lock it down. I'm going to roll my coverage away from you. So I would double the second guy. This is how good Darrelle Revis was. He never once asked for a down off. He would take that tough down, the toughest player, every single time.
Oh, look at that.
And that's how good he was.
How many cornerbacks, Rex, in your coaching career have you given that?
One. That's never been done in this league, ever. And I'm going to tell you the thing also about Darrelle Revis. As tough as it gets, and to me, always the toughest guy on the playground. That was Darrelle Revis. And it's just awesome.
Hell of a player, man. I don't think anybody's going to be surprised, at the fact that, he's in that finalist list. He was a dominant player, his time playing in the league. And I think he has a great deal of respect from everyone who ever watched him, respect from his teammates. And I'm sure there's a good chance he's in.
Man, he was. You can put up Charles Woodson, Darrell Green, Champ Bailey, Ty Law.
Right.
Darrelle did everything, bro. He followed the best receiver. He played inside, played outside, great ball awareness. And he maybe gave up, I think, 2 games with 100+ yards.
Damn.
His whole career?
Yeah. Two games, I think it was. 2 or 3 games. He never lacked in technique or getting lazy or getting comfortable. He always played leverage. He's a very smart player. He pretty much know every formation. You can tell how he just jumped that route right there.
Yeah. But going against Darrelle Revis, Rex, you know how I feel about Darrelle Revis in our matchups. You've even told me some of the conversations you told him before our matchup. But one thing about Darrelle Revis, he really stands alone. I just sit here and talked about the top tier of head coaches with Andy Reid going up there. You talking about a tier of cornerbacks with Deion Sanders being at the top. Darrelle Revis can go up there and park his car right beside Deion Sanders, man, because his technique, Sam, was so good. They talk about Revis Island, and one thing that I respect about him, he told you what he was going to do. He was going to lock one side of the field, and when it comes to the National Football League's history, there are only 2 cornerbacks that comes to mind when it comes down to locking the whole side of the field down. That's primetime Darrelle Revis. Great accomplishments, well-deserved.
Every Sunday, offenses came in with a plan. Coordinators spent all week drawing it up. Receivers spent all week running routes. And by the first quarter, all of it was gone. You don't scheme your way out of greatness. You just survive it and hope you make it to the other side.
What was it like playing with Darrelle?
Oh, man. absolutely one of, if not the best cornerback to play the game. Right there with prime time, just another style, just true lockdown. I remember first getting there and just being mesmerized how he didn't let anybody catch a pass in a game, practice, or anything. So when somebody can lock down receivers to that level, it's just unreal, really.
What would it mean to you to be here tonight if he is inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame? Because they're announcing that here at NFL Honors.
It shouldn't be no if. Absolutely, he should be first ballot Hall of Fame. It's just none more deserving. And it would be a tremendous honor to be here at Honors, really, for the first time for us. And the first time we came in the NFL, we were playing with Darrelle Revis. So it'd be kind of like a little deja vu a little bit.
There are times where you feel like he can be beaten because it's been done, but there are other times where he proves why he's Darrelle Revis. He's a smart corner, not just an athletic corner.
And when it was all said and done, the numbers told the story, the tape told the story, but the silence told it loudest. The silence of offenses that stopped calling plays to his side. The silence of receivers who never asked for that matchup. The silence of quarterbacks who saw where he was standing and looked the other way. For nearly a decade, he didn't just compete at the highest level. He dominated it so completely that the greatest players in the world changed how they played the game. That's not just a career. That's a legacy. That's an island nobody ever conquered.